This is Peter Smallage. It's December 2011. I'm at the Arnott Forest. I'm in an area near the field campus adjacent to the perimeter trail that's being manipulated, a forest area being manipulated into a silvopasture. The area where we're standing and working historically was sheep pasture. This was maybe 100 years ago, and now is a mixed hardwood forest of oak and beech and red maple and white pine. The soils here are conducive to good growth of red oak and white pine, so we'll be favoring those species. The other species, the red maple and the beech, do less well here. Most of the beech has beech bark disease, so those beech are ultimately going to die. So trees have been marked, an initial thinning to reduce the basal area down to 60 to 70 square feet of basal area. Eventually we'll want to move it lower than that, probably down to 45 to 60 square feet of basal area, so that we can create 50% crown closure. You can see that the crown in here, and this is in December, remember, the crown of this, the canopy of this forest, is fully closed. So there's not much sunlight that comes to the forest floor, and if we're going to create silvopasture, we need to have enough sunlight so we can develop a forage base on the forest floor. Some of the trees are quite nice looking trees. This is about a 11-inch diameter red oak. Next to it, the same age, would be a red oak that's maybe 8 inches. You can see that that smaller tree has been marked for cutting. And then adjacent to that is still a nicer red oak that's about 13 inches in diameter. Then in the background there's about a 17-inch red oak. Another small red oak there marked for cutting. So the cutting criteria that were used were to try and uniformly distribute the canopy trees, so there's a uniform scattering of canopy, while at the same time removing the lower value trees, leaving the higher value trees behind for growth. The little trees are the same age as the big trees, so they're the runts and we want to cull them out. Here's a double-stemmed red maple. You can see has some defect issues and would never be more than a firewood quality tree. So this will be cut and removed as firewood. There's a fair amount of beech in the understory. Here's a small beech sapling. The larger beech are in the process of being cut, and the stumps are treated with a herbicide, a glyphosate-based herbicide. There's a beech that was cut and the stump was treated. The block of wood on the right is the first cut, and then a freshened cut to make it easier to apply the herbicide. That herbicide then, Roundup or Accord, as was used, will travel through the root system and will help to manage some of these beech whips in the understory. Again, it's about getting enough sunlight to the forest floor so that we're able to develop a nice forage base. The trail that we're on is an ATV trail that allows access with the machine, a small machine, low impact, low ground pressure, to be able to remove firewood and to access the area. Here's another tree that was marked. This is a red maple. You can see by the hole in the base that it has some health issues. Similarly here, another red maple, not a bad looking red maple. It has some defect at the butt, but next to it was left a nicer, larger red maple. You can see that those two crowns are going to be competing, and by cutting the tree on the left, it frees up the crown on the right, and then that'll create an opening between those crowns that you see now on the left and the right to allow some sunlight into the forest floor. Not all of the debris will be removed from the forest floor. Much of this will be left. The first livestock to go in here is planned to be turkeys, so some of this this debris won't be an impediment to them, and in fact may provide some perches for the turkeys, as well as a little bit of cover, hopefully, to protect against birds of prey.